Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I had to pull down my phone screen real quick to see what day it was. Hey, Cement Shoes. Good morning. I should have changed my live stream time till later because Robbie just went live and he gets a big audience. So we may not have but like a couple of people in here. Hey, that's fine. We always go small chat. Hey, Mike, knitting artisan, CC, cement shoes. Good morning. And Mike, good morning to Mike too. Let me find my live chat on my phone because I don't want too many windows um, opened up on my laptop. Y'all are going to laugh because yesterday I couldn't get the mic to work on my laptop. And y'all know what was wrong? This little bitty button on my keyboard that cuts the microphone off. That's what was wrong. Anyways, I don't even have my good mic hooked up. So I don't know how the audio is going to be. But this morning we're going to be talking about Leslie Van Houten. She was paroled after, I believe, 53 years in prison. You know, she's a Manson cult member. She killed the La Biancas. I think I'm pronouncing that name right. Was it Leon and Rosemary La Bianca? Um, anyway, she has been paroled, and they have took her to a transitional house, non-disclosed location. I can't believe it. The governor said that he just wasn't going to, I guess, contest the Supreme Court. We're going to read that article. Just think, guys, she has been in prison since what year did that happen? 68, 69, something like that? 53 years. She probably don't know how to operate a VCR, DVD player, phone, nothing. I mean, maybe they got like a TV and stuff in prison. I don't know. I know my friend, he was in the federal penitentiary. It was over weed, y'all, large quantity. But he had a TV, and it was like clear see-through TV, so you couldn't hide nothing in the back. And he told me that you had to pay for cable every month. He also had a mini fridge in his cell, and he could buy ice cream and things. Nini Arson, that was the year I was born. I mean, she's been in prison my whole life, y'all. I was born January 23rd, 1980. She's been in prison, I mean, a lot of our whole lives, you know. Let's read this. I think Robbie is talking about those autopsy photos. Oh Lord, y'all. I don't want to get started on that because probably talk about it after this, just to be honest. Even though I get started, but some people just piss me off around here. I was listening to a stream, and I like these two ladies that was talking. Well, one of them I do, but some people just don't got no spine. They don't want to upset Natasha Cooper because then, you know, they won't get her audience to view their live streams and they won't get her audience's money, super chat money. People piss me off. It doesn't matter if the pictures were legally got or not, morally and ethically. It's freaking wrong. And I heard that MKB said, well, Natasha didn't make but such and such off of it. If she'd wanted to make it killing, she'd have charged more than like $3. It don't matter if she made 1 cent off of it. It was wrong. That is wrong. I mean, just imagine if that is your child. And some people's like, well, it's true crime and all that, but we are not professionals. You can read an autopsy and get the gist of what has happened. This is a child. If it's against the law to have pictures of kids that are alive nude, then it should be against the law to have pictures of deceased children too and putting it behind a paywall. That is it's wrong. It don't matter if they were legally got. It's very freaking disturbing. It pisses me off. Some people do anything for a buck or a view. I mean, and they try to act like they're damn professionals. You ain't no damn homicide detective. You're not anything besides a regular person, uneducated. Some people, guys, their channel blows up. over something, they'll get a lot of subscribers, and it goes to their freaking head. Okay, so here is Leslie. Says Manson cult member Leslie Fountain was granted parole Tuesday in California after more than 50 years in prison. Governor Gavin Newsom, who had previously stopped Leslie's parole efforts, announced last week that he would not contest her release in the state Supreme Court. The governor is disappointed by the Court of Appeals' decision to release Miss Van Houten, but will not pursue further action as efforts to further appeal are unlikely to succeed, the governor's spokesperson said. On Tuesday, Leslie's lawyer, Nancy Tetriot, said she took Leslie to a transitional housing in a confidential location. Here she is when she was young. She's going to have to learn to live in the world after 53 years in prison. So that's going to take some time, her attorney said. Look at that police lady's hair. You tell that's an old picture. See, she was 19 in this picture, and this was December 19th, 1969. Do you know that she was homecoming princess when she was in school? And she also sang in the choir. So my internet seems to be working pretty good, guys, but I'm at my kitchen bar, not far from the router. Okay, in August 1969, Leslie, along with 4 other members of the notorious family cult led by Manson, entered a home at 3301 Waverly Drive in Los Angeles, owned by a wealthy California couple, Lino LaBianca and his wife, Rosemary. Under Manson's directions, the family tortured and stabbed the couple to death before writing "death to pigs" on the wall in the home, using the victim's blood. I believe one of them girls, I believe it was Leslie, it might have been Patricia, I can't remember. But the Rosemary, she's asking why they kept stabbing her. She was already dead. During her trial, Van Houten admitted she stabbed Rosemary at least 14 times in the back. During her sentencing in 1971, Leslie said sorry is only a 5-letter word when asked if she felt remorse for taking part in the crime. Leslie apparently had a change of heart, or at least claimed she did, while previously trying to get parole in 2017. I take responsibility for the entire crime. I take responsibility going back to Manson being able to do what he did to all of us. I allowed it, Van Houten said during a previous parole hearing. I learned that I was weak in character. I was easy to give over my belief system to someone else. And you know what? I've noticed a lot of people on YouTube, some of these creators are like that too. They're weak. They don't got no spines. They'll just go along with whatever because, that person's popular and they want a piece of the pie. God, these people piss me off. Okay, so that's the end of it. It says, I learned I was weak in character. I was easy to give over my belief system to someone else. Yeah, you've got in your beliefs. Like, nobody will ever be able to change my mind, my beliefs on these autopsy pictures. Nobody. I don't care who you are, how much I like it. Nobody, not even my own son. Because I know in my heart that is wrong. Now, am I going to go over and hate on Zap Girl on her page and stuff? NC? No. No, but when you do stuff in the public, people are going to speak about it. It doesn't, and I'm sick of people saying they didn't do anything legally wrong. We know this. It's morally, ethically wrong. If you don't think it's morally wrong, I have to question what type of person you are. What if that was your child? You always got to put yourself in that situation. Take a step back and look. Big picture here. If that was my son, I'd be on y'all's doorsteps. I may go to jail for it, but I'd be on your damn doorstep if I had to ride a damn Greyhound bus to get there. That is wrong. Wrong. Hey, Callie. People really need to put their morals aside for views. It's a strange time we live in. And these people that are kind of snowing it over because they like Natasha Cooper, MKB, that's who I'm talking about. Mama Knows Best. I was very disappointed in what she had to say on Andrea Mom's stream last night because you can just tell that she wants on Natasha Cooper's good side so she can sell them damn tumblers and get some views, get some of her viewers and stuff like that. That's the way I feel about that situation. Maybe if these people don't want people talking about them, maybe they should stay off live streams looking like damn morons. Look like you ain't got no damn common sense. Yeah, wrong. I mean, of course. Okay. What else is going on in the house? We don't want to get too much in that. I'm making a response, but I'll cut to a fly money. I'd use the tail feathers someone. Feathers off someone if they put my disease chat on YouTube. Hey, just Jack. So good to see you. Knitting Arson. Did you hear Brian Enton on News Nation, folks? Yes, yes. I shared the article this morning or the video. And y'all know I'm usually not a mean person, but I did put, how do y'all like being publicly shamed? Because that's the way I feel about it. They should be publicly shamed for this. This is not like some 30-year-old case, a vintage case or something like that. This case just happened. His family's been through hell. His stepmom horrifically murdered him. I mean, and then here you got people on YouTube contacting his parents. And I know that their reasoning is they wanted to make them aware. But I think they shouldn't have done that. They should have went about it a different way. Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get sued over this. Now, I think Patreon removed Zab Girl's account. They took her Patreon because it breaks terms of service. I think if they were hell bent on doing that, why didn't they put blur his face out, other parts of his body? Now I reckon Natasha Cooper said that she cropped the bottom half of him out. Hell, I didn't even know she'd done it until I heard her running her mouth about it. She wanted people. She wanted people to know that she had that in her Patreon because it brings her more attention. Any attention is good attention to her. And they should. The situation is crazy to me. I don't know why people want to see photos like that. I mean, I have saw crime scene photos of Jeffrey Dahmer's and stuff. It was on Crime Online, but never no child. The John Benet Ramsey picture, I think that I shared on my screen one time, really wasn't a true crime scene photo. It was a artist sketch, and it was showing like the ligature thing around there. But I would never ever do that. That's why, I'm just not like that. I'm an empath. I don't do to people what I don't want done to me. I mean, I just can't believe they done that. And they think that nothing's wrong with it. Natasha Cooper had the nerve to say, somebody asked her, said, what if that was your grandchild? And she's like, it wouldn't bother me a bit. Bullshit. She would be raising 3 kinds of damn hell. And you couldn't blame her. Even the dead deserve dignity. It's just insanity. Yeah, they got no respect for the dead. Like when I was growing up, you was taught respect for the dead. You don't walk on graves at cemeteries or nothing. I can remember my papa scolding me for that. One time when I was a little bitty girl, he just said, don't do that. Don't walk on the graves. It's disrespectful. I never did it again. Her autopsy photos were leaked by the place that developed the film. They sold them to the Enquirer, which is disturbing as well. Yeah, yeah. But there's like this artist that done like a picture, drew like a picture of one of the crime scene photos. Now we pulled that up on Google, but it wasn't no damn real autopsy picture. Nobody was nude, naked. We wasn't making money. Oh, yeah, guys, I did want to tell y'all something. Guys, I am feeding a bunch of feral cats. And if you would like to help out the feral cat colony, join my membership. That will help me a lot. Or I have a link, a PayPal link in my description, which I don't expect them to do that. But what we want to do is we want to break this cycle of these cats staying pregnant. But it is expensive as hell to spay a cat. I called to get cows spayed on their bed. I believe what I say it was. Maybe it was 100 there here at the local vet. I believe it was like 190 some dollars. I I was even like, it's a rescue cat, think you might get a little bit of a discount or something. They used to do that. Hell no, they don't care. They don't care. But meanwhile, Callie's not looking good. The Calico mommy here, she always just seems tired and starved to death. And I feed her probably 3 or 4 times a day, and you can still kind of feel her spine at the back. I mean, she's just had so many damn babies, y'all. She's just out. So we wanted to get her fixed right off the bat and then get Bootsy fixed. It's weird Bootsy didn't get pregnant. But if you want to help the feral cat colony, and if I was to be able, to save up enough money to get Callie fixed, there'll be a video of it, us taking her to the vet and stuff, because I can catch her and pet her and all that. But just join the membership. That will help us out a lot. In Indiana, we have a vet that will do it at no cost for all strays. Do you have a large city at all close to you? Well, Kingsport, Tennessee, or Johnson City, Tennessee, or Bristol, Virginia/Tennessee. I could call around there, I guess. See, when I was sick in the hospital, I didn't know it, but they had a trap and release program going on in another holler. But if I hadn't been in the damn hospital, hooked up to oxygen and IV, I could have got a hold of them and got something done. Plus, there's another feral cat out here, guys, that I feed. I thought its leg was broke. It's been limping for months and months, but it's either got hurt and it didn't heal back right, or it was born with the disability. I think it got hurt and didn't heal back right because its ear looks ripped. But see, that cat needs to be trapped, sedated, and looked at. I will look in Tennessee. See what you can find, Callie. See what you can find that's close to Southwest Virginia. Put Southwest Virginia. A lot of times when I say I'm from Southwest Virginia, people think I'm saying West Virginia. No, Southwest in the state of Virginia. Are you also in Tennessee? All of us that's real close, we should meet up in Gatlinburg. Pigeon Forge, go to the True Crime Museum, Parrot Mountain. Okay, let's see what him for a week. Damn, he's a good looking doctor. Let me get it pulled up. Internet and laptop freaking here. Even though it says my Wi-Fi is a little. Hold on a minute. Let me make sure this is plugged in good. Sometimes that will plug in. Okay. Now let's screen share. I had a damn good looking doctor, y'all. Well, one of them was. He was from. You could tell he was good looking. I remember, yeah, I was so couldn't hardly my head up, but when I opened my eyes up and saw, I was like, whew. It went through my head as sick as I was. Damn, he's good looking. I'm sorry, guys. I have a thing for good looking men. I can't help it. Look, it's not even wanting to show. Okay, there it is. A patient brought a gun into an exam room at a West Tennessee orthopedics clinic on Tuesday, shot a beloved surgeon to death. Look at him. Look at his pretty blue eyes. He kind of looks like my orthopedic. Campbell Clinic identified the doctor as Benjamin. Let me just play this because I can't say. Let's see if we get this.
Description, and even his name was given to us. Our team began to set up a perimeter. We had officers that went to the location to begin check for victims and make sure that the building, clothing description, and even his name was given to us. Our team began to set up a perimeter. We had officers that went to the location to begin check for victims and make sure that the scene was secure there. Other officers encountered the suspect at Poplar on the south side of Poplar, very near to the entrance. Suspect had a firearm in his possession. It was on his person. It wasn't in his hand. He was taken into custody without incident. So we do have the suspect in custody at this time. We do have one fatality, and it's probably all that we're going to release at this point. We're not going to be releasing any of the names of the suspects. We did conduct multiple searches of the facility, continue to make sure that it was secure.
Okay, they ain't saying too much. I just wanted to hear his name. Here, let me get out full screen. Okay, let's go back. So he was pissed off at the doctor, probably over nails, y'all. Appears to have been a one-on-one encounter that happened in the exam room. The suspect had a gun on his person. He was taken into custody, but the gun was not in his hand. He had been threatening the doctor for a week, but Lane said had no knowledge of the threats when asked him at the news conference. He said detectives have not determined a motive, but the investigation is still in its earliest stages. He's probably wanting some pain pills if the truth's known. I was making sure I was unmuted. He's probably wanting some pain pills. I'm telling you what, they will not write pain pills up at a orthopedist anymore unless you just had surgery or something. Even my neighbor, he had knee surgery. They wrote him some pain pills, he said. He first went home from the hospital, but then he goes to the same orthopedic as me. He wouldn't write him anymore. And he was in a lot of pain. I want y'all to look at this right here. Let me screen this. This one right here looks like he is methed out. Something about egg in a house. Have y'all ever went corning like on night or throwing rotten apples? We threw rotten apples at this guy's car that worked for my uncle because he was such an asshole. And he got so mad. We also used to corn cars. CC, look into the program called SNP in Sullivan County Program for Low Cost to prevent overpopulation of strays. Yeah, I will. I'll have to ask them. I mean, if I'm eligible, where I live in Virginia, but I'm willing, to drop the animals, even a couple hours away if I have to get them help. We really want to help them. We really do, because I mean, it's just a vicious cycle. Now, she will have another litter of kittens here in a couple of months, about 90 days, I bet. Because she's not nursing the kittens like she used to. I saw that little calico sucking the teeth the other day, but I don't know if she got any milk out or not. But Callie, she just she don't look healthy. She don't need to be having no more babies, even though she has beautiful babies. I want you to look at this guy's eyes. Look. They're about to pop out of his head. That right there's about cross-eyed. Georgia man heads outside to confront a trio of teens egging a home, but he ends up dead. Police are calling the shooting the result of an ongoing lovers' quarrel. Sydney Morgan and Jeremy Munson, both 18 and 19, were charged. I saw something about this the other day. Ooh, let's read this about Alex. Yeah, we used to egg people's houses up, and it looks like they was there. They wasn't just egging the house. They was there start trouble because of a lover's quarrel. Sullivan Humane Society does offer Space $65. Oh, yeah, that is. I'm going to call down there because I got slow. It's not responding. Let me stop screen sharing. So there's a documentary coming out. It says in a recorded phone call with his son, convicted double murder Alex Murdaugh speaks cryptically while Buster seems in a hurry to get off the phone. The recording was obtained in a Freedom of Information Act released by Fitz News. Alex is serving 2 consecutive life sentences for the murder of his wife Maggie and son Paul in 2021. He is awaiting trial on dozens of financial crime charges that led to the loss of his job and his law license. Hey, buddy, the family patriarch says when the call from his maximum security jail is put through. The call took place late in the afternoon of May 16th. Hey, I don't have a whole lot of time. I just boarded a ferry to go back to Hilton Head Island from Dolfusky Island, Buster replies. Yeah, I've been trying to call. I was supposed to call you while you were with Jim, presumably Alex's attorney, Jim Griffin, about this meeting. Alex says, but anyways, how about text him and let him know I'm trying to call him? Buster replies in a mumbled affirmation. Did he talk to you about that, about the thing that I told him? Alex asked. Um, this time the answer is a negative, and Buster says he can't understand what his father is saying, likely because of the poor telephone connection. Alex says he'll leave word with Jim and he'll be in touch with you, even though he just asked Buster to tell Jim he's trying to reach him. Love you, Alex tells his son, who responds after a pause that he loves you too. The call ends with Alex adding that he's proud of you, to which Buster replies, thanks. Well, he's damn sure Buster's damn sure not either, Alex. He looks like somebody that's sickly with his hair shaved like that. Looks like he's missing his eyebrows. Almost looks like he's been through chemo. Alex Murdaugh looks like the devil in the flesh. Hey, Buster has to know this. Hey, if he would kill Paul, he would kill me too. Hold on, guys. Let me get some coffee. I mean, he has to know this. Excuse me, Zoe. You know, Buster knows he's guilty. Hey, Alex and Lori Vallow are the devils in the flesh. I just watched that damn Lori Vallow movie again the other day. It was on Lifetime. Cult Mom. And I had missed the part where she goes into the closet because she thinks Chad told her there's a portal there. And all she has to do is go into the closet and talk and he'll hear her. So she does that. She don't get no damn response, of course. And then she calls him and she's like, why didn't you answer me? I've been calling you through the portal. I mean, the bitch really believed this stuff, according to the movie. Yeah, and Letitia, she's the devil too. Hey, Cheryl T, how are you doing? Letitia, she's too. But I reckon there's a documentary coming out about Alex and Buster's going to be in it. I saw yesterday. It'll be a live to it. Let's see. Try and see what else going on here. Buster murder is about that. Let's click and see what it. Prison hasn't affected her smile. Her until get they visit. Okay, so Chad has to be. He's a little wimp, anyways. He's a weakling. Lori's done been convicted of all this stuff, and now he's up next. He has to know he's going to be convicted. There's no around it. The bodies were on his property, and let's forget Tammy too. Let's see. Surviving son is set to appear in a 3-hour docuseries about his convicted killer's father's murder convictions and allegations he stole from his law firm and a slew of clients. On Tuesday, Fox News Media said in a statement that the file of the House of Murdaugh will premiere on September 12th. So it's called The File of the House of Murdaugh, like falling down, will premiere on September 12th. In addition to speaking with Alex's lawyer and friends, Martha McCollum conducted a sit-down interview with Buster, the first since his father's conviction. I can't wait to watch this. In March, Alex was convicted of killing his wife and son at the family's property. He later appealed the 2 life sentences he received for the 2021 double murder. Through a first-hand account from Buster and access to key players, including friends, family, this series puts forward several missing elements that have not been brought to light. Fox Nation President Jason Klarman said of the 3-part series, "What are you doing, Zoe? Are you after food, baby? I just fed you." Before his conviction, Alex was disbarred for allegedly embezzling money from his former law firm to fuel a drug addiction. He still faces more than 100 counts in regards to the alleged fraud. He pleaded not guilty to some of the charges in May. This was more than a drug addiction. I mean, this man could afford to buy him enough pills to last him for a week. They were kingpinning it. That's why he had to steal that money to buy big, large quantities. This is exactly what the son of a bitch was doing. I can't wait to watch that. So when did it say? September 12th on Fox News. I kept looking for Fox News to say something about these true crime YouTubers, but they haven't. I've got something on the bottom of my foot. What is that? Oh, I don't know. Okay, hold on a sec. I'll get you some more food. She's been a little sick. She not ate much, but getting her else. Gannon Stout autopsy results revealed. Let me click on this about Gannon. See what it's saying. See if this is a new article. It says trending now. When was this put up? No, April. I'm surprised online doesn't have an article about the YouTuber putting up his offers and charging $3 to get in to see, or for how much they're charging. I mean, it's not like, I know that they were discussing the case. It wasn't like, hey, I got these autopsy pictures, give me $3 and you can sell. I know that it didn't go down, but that's what people think. I mean, that's what people think. Y'all could have discussed the case and read the autopsy report without sharing photos. That girl said People didn't have enough common sense. No, it was for scientific purposes. You're not a scientist, are you? You're not crap. You're not crap. You'll always be known as the person that sold Gannon's autopsy pictures. You and NC. That's how I feel about it. Oh, guys, I have to watch how much true crime I read and stuff. It gets my blood pressure up. I've been trying to avoid a lot of the kids' cases and stuff like that. I hope it doesn't affect the prison adversary having a storm visit regularly. Yeah, I know. So what have I missed? I will have to watch on the replay to catch up. Well, Leslie Van Houten was paroled from prison. I believe that was yesterday. And she has been moved to a transitional housing place, non disclosed location, a private place. Because it's going to take her a long time to adjust to the outside world because she has been in prison for 53 years. I mean, she's been in prison since before I was freaking born. I mean, you say 53 years, it's like a long time. But then when I think, damn, she was in prison before I was even born, and I'm 43. That's a long ass time. Now, there was a guy that we knew. Well, he's still alive. He was in prison from the time I was in kindergarten till I was in my mid 30s for murder. And he finally got paroled. And now he's out. He has a job. He married a lady that's a nurse, and he's doing good. But yeah, he did rob somebody and killed him. He went out of state. I think he went to like Alabama or something and done it. Because I remember I was little, and when the FBI came looking for him, they came to our house because my stepdad had a black truck just like JoJo's. And anyways, they went on up the hill, but oh my gosh, there was police everywhere. And that was probably back in 83 or no, probably about 85, because I was real little. I can barely remember it. But I remember those FBI agents with their jackets. They tracked him down. He went out of state with somebody else. I don't really know the whole story. All I know is they robbed a guy. It tied him up. He was in a wheelchair. It was a disabled person. And they killed him. Yeah. I remember the Tate LaBianca murders. You're the age of my daughter. They say, oh, am I, Charlotte? Yeah, hey, we're still young. We're still young. I think 43. Even my doctor told me, he's like, you're too young to have these health problems. Because I got a pretty damn serious condition. If you look up that pulmonary hypertension, it's pretty serious. It really is. You can die from it, especially if it goes untreated. I mean, when they rolled me into the ER that day, they had to come and get me on my mom's car out front because I couldn't walk. The first thing they asked me is if I had been having chest pains. And I said, yeah, here and there, chest pains. Sometimes, my heart will speed up while I'm sitting down and it'll skip. I was swelled up. My stomach looked like I was pregnant. I had been sick for a long time. If y'all remember, I was always congested and I'd mute and I'd say, oh, I got a cough, smoker's cough. Yeah, I got COPD too. I don't understand how anyone can kill another person unless that it's in self-defense. Yeah, that's the only way that I could kill somebody, in self-defense or if they're harming a child or animal. Good morning, Gayla from Sacramento. Must be so nice to live out there. My son has severe pulmonary hypertension for 3 years. As a baby, he was oxygen, had to take Cytofil for a long time. Yeah, thank God I didn't have to come home with oxygen. They thought I was going to have to, those steroids really helped me. But they got me up. See, the respiratory therapist is who decides if you need oxygen or not the doctor. See, I didn't know that. They got me up and walked me around and stuff, and my oxygen had was pretty good, but it was dropping down into the 80s when I first got there, which I didn't know that was really bad. Like yesterday, my oxygen level was like 90. Oh, and get this, y'all. I just remembered I missed my doctor's appointment yesterday. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday over this, and totally, I didn't remember it until last night. From now on, I'm going to set reminders on my phone. I got it wrote down and posted on my door on a piece of paper with a magnet, but I still forgot about it. Mike, I have not slowed. I mean, I've slowed down smoking, but I've been putting off going and getting some nicotine patches. I mean, I could have sent Mark after some if I didn't want to go, but I want to go pick them out myself. But I've been putting it off. 90 is low. I can't remember what my oxygen was dropping to when I was in the hospital. 84, 85. I didn't even know it. I dozed off. I heard a machine go off in the ER, and they come in there, and she said, "While you're snoozing, your oxygen is dropping." Well, I knew that I was having trouble breathing because I had to prop myself up on the couch because I was staying on the couch when I was real sick, and I could not lay like flat. My son's oxygen set dropped to the 70s just from the time I took him off in the car when I arrested. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Cheryl T. I got one of those little things that goes on your finger. And Mark's mom got me a blood pressure machine. And I'd like to have like one of the little cuffs that like I could take with me places. I'm gonna get one. Um, but this one, it reads out the readings to you and all that. I don't think Leslie Van Houten will not make it long out of custody. I wonder if she'll hook up with what's that one's name? Squeaky? Was her name Squeaky or something like that? I wonder how long people's going to go on about these autopsy photos of these live streams and stuff. I mean, I think some people's just made it content. It really bothered me. It really annoys me. It pisses me off. It's not like just some kind of crazy outrage just to be mad about something because I don't get like that. A lot of things that happen don't bother me. I'll be like, oh, it's messed up. But things like this, it does bother me. All the money that they made from their Patreons ought to be donated to charity. If they've got a charity in Gannon's name or anything. Oh, is Squeaky dead? You also read your body, check your color, especially fingertips, start to blood. Well, knitting arson, I thought I was a diabetic because I'd be up all night peeing, which I'm still doing that. That's another symptom of like your heart. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. My fingertips and my feet would tingle. And I thought that I was getting like neuropathy or something. Or maybe I was a diabetic, but that was from my oxygen not being right. I didn't know Squeaky's dead. Let me look this up before we get off here. Squeaky, what's her name? Frommy? Squeaky Frommy? No, she's 74 years old. She's still alive, guys. As far as I know. Yes, that's 74 years old. She was born October 22nd, 1948. Like, she was from a nice family. Like, her dad was educated. I forget what they said he done. Maybe he sold insurance or something. When was Squeaky paroled? She was sentenced to life in prison. 1987. She managed to escape for 2 days but was ultimately recaptured. The escape resulted in an extension of her sentence, but she remained eligible for parole. She was finally released in 2009. Let's see what happened to her. Um, Charles Manson followed Lynette Squeaky Fromme, living life as a very friendly neighbor in rural New York. Hey, if y'all live in rural New York, watch out. Squeaky's there. She's a nut. 68 was sentenced to life in prison for attempting to assassinate President Gerald Ford. Oh, yeah, I remember that. There was like a video clip of them wrestling like the gun from her. She now lives with her boyfriend in upstate New York, keeping to themselves. How many of the Manson family have been paroled? Only one member of the Manson family has been convicted of murder and later released, Steve Clem Grogan. Well, there's two of them now. No, they brutally, butchered the LaBiancas and Sharon Tate and her friend. No, they should spend the rest of their lives in prison. Is she a different person? Is Van Houten a different person than she was back then? Yeah, a lot of us regret we don't murder people, what we've done in our past, and we get wiser as we get older, right? I'd say that's probably happened with her, but we can't forget what she did. You know what I mean? She's liable to be institutionalized, and she may get out and do a crime just to get thrown back in prison. That happens to a lot of people. A lot of these like guys around here, I've noticed that been in and out of jail since we got out of high school. They're institutionalized. They don't care to go back. Normal person gets in trouble, goes to jail one time, and that's enough for them. I met Charles Manson in 1985 while he was at CMF prison in Vacaville, California for his son. Really? How was he? Was he nice? Here, baby, I'll help you. Come on. I took up the rugs. I got laminated flooring, but I took up the rug in front of my couch because someone keeps peeing on it, and I have to take it up every day and scrub it. And now Skylar won't jump on the couch by herself because her feet slides. I'm not putting those rugs back down because someone pees on them every night. Even if I let them out 12 o'clock at night, someone pees. A good way to check for iron is take a gold piece of jewelry like a ring, rub it across your cheek. If it leaves a dark line, you're iron deficient. Oh, really? I was just watching a Charles Manson interview. Who was that with? Barbara Walters. And he basically said, she was like, those girls said that you pimped them out and used them. Like if a man wanted to sleep with them, they had to go do it. And he said, isn't that what a woman's for? Basically, that's what he said. Isn't that what a woman's for? So Charles Manson thought women were only good to sleep with. Here, baby, I'll help you. It slides on the floor. Anyways, guys, Charles wouldn't even look at me, only the male CO I was with, because he had no respect for you, Gayla. He don't respect women. He thought of women as just nothing more, just somebody to sleep with and have babies. I was listening to Patricia Krenwinkel's interview and Leslie's, and they said they had to do all kinds of acid trips, and then they just have group sex. Everybody was having sex, and said that Charles Manson, he was trying to get, more men to join the cult. So he would offer up these girls to the men to try to entice them into joining. Texas coming out by next year. He helped kill more than 10 people. He killed the actress Tate as she begged for an unborn baby. And you know what, Donald? He's a piece of shit. They allowed him to get married and have conjugal visits while he's been in prison and he's got children. Tex Watson. Yeah, he really hated you because you was a woman and you had authority and power over him. You should have kicked him right in the nuts, Kayla. I know you can't. A lot of times when I watch Charles Manson's interviews, I can't understand what he's saying because he talks weird. The way he words stuff is very confusing for me. Now, he is from over there in East Kentucky. That's where his grandmother and them's from. There's a lot of people that go to that old bar slash whorehouse that Manson grew up in. I believe maybe it's over in Houten, Kentucky, somewhere like that. It's close to Houten, I believe. Callie, kick him right in the damn nuts. You know how many people's come out and said that's Charles Manson's kid? Charles Manson, he was just an old hillbilly. I don't even know why women were attracted to him. He just knowed how to talk smart, I guess. But he was really a short guy, which there's nothing wrong with short men, but that's not my cup of tea. But yeah, they said that he was a good lover. Patricia Krenwinkel, I thought this was the stupidest thing I've ever heard. She said that she met him. She was living with her sister, right? And they went to a party at their friend's house, and Charles Manson was there playing the guitar. And he said he didn't have nowhere to stay. So the sister said that he could stay with them. And that night they had sex. And she cried because he told her she was beautiful. And she said it was the most beautiful, sensual thing. He probably suffers from little wiener syndrome, as I call it. Now, have y'all ever had sex and cried and cried and cried because somebody said you're beautiful? I mean, if I had sex, I would be crying all the time if I cried because somebody said you're pretty or something. I mean, because men say those sort of things to you. Oh my God. Oh, oh, you're beautiful, honey. Really? And she was so damn serious about it. What I couldn't figure out is how they got on the path. I mean, I know they met him, but how did they get brainwashed by him? They were from good damn families. I mean, really, Squeaky, she was from a good family. Van Houten was from a good family. I think that Krenwinkel was from pretty decent family. I think one of them was from a divorced parent. A lot of people's from divorced parents. Maybe if I was 900 pounds and someone said I was beautiful, I may cry. Hey, speaking of heavyset people, Tammy Slayton, y'all know 1,000 Pound Sisters. Her husband that she married, Caleb, he died. Yes, I saw that the other day. I don't think that they were still together. I think it was just a rehab relationship, as I call it. They were in rehab for being overweight. You know, they were in a controlled environment. Well, maybe if I was on LSD, which I've never done LSD either. It was the 70s, folks. Everyone was on acid. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what my mom said when I was back there partying in the 70s. She said, you take one that whip you out. Quaaludes. She said they used to take Quaaludes. It's so weird hearing my mom say something like that because she is just like so straight laced. Oh, wow. Really not surprised I watched that show. My spouse calls it junk TV. Hey, Mike, I'm with you because I like watching the reality shows, the Jump TV. And plus, they were from YouTube. They got their start on YouTube. I mean, one of them, they even faked Tammy's death one time. Amy come on there and said she need to go fund me. People donate money because they's going to have an extra, extra, extra large casket to put Tammy in. It turns out Tammy wasn't even freaking dead. She's lost a ton of weight, but I don't know if Tammy will ever be, let's say, like me and you, just able to walk normally. I mean, she's just done so much damage to her body by being so heavy. Mike, do you watch Amber Lynn Reed and Foodie Beauty? Now, I do watch them. I watch their drama. I've never seen anyone like Foodie Beauty. One day on a video, I left a comment too. She said, I've been grazing on food all day. And I left a comment. I said, girl, cattle graze, not humans. A lot of people liked my comment. I mean, cattle, among other animals, you know, graze. Uh, this woman will order a large pizza and sit there and eat every bite of it. Family size lasagnas on these mukbangs. Sit there and eat every damn bite of it. And she'll be going, mmm, mmm. Makes me freaking sick. Makes me sick. After being that heavy, even losing the weight's really hard on the body. All the terrible damage I know, and all the skin like hanging. I can't imagine being any more heavier than what I am. Which I'm not like fat, but I'm curvy, a little chubby. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not what you would call fat, obese. I mean, I'm comfortable with my body. Sometimes I put on jeans or something. I'll be like, yeah, you be looking good today, girl. Uh, but yeah, all that skin hanging. Have you watched that show about, what was it called? Is it £1,000 Best Friends or something like that? But there's this one woman on there which really gets on my nerves, that blonde headed woman. Her stomach, she has lost 200 or 300 pounds, but her stomach hangs all the way like past her knees. I don't know how she walks. That looks like it would hurt. Yeah, you watch that one too. You know what I'm talking about? What's her name? Is her name Tina? She gets on my nerves. She's rude sometimes. Just Jax. I just started watching. Allegedly, he's only Foodie Beauty's husband's Muslim, but he's only married to one woman. See, I learned a little thing about Muslims. See, they can have as many wives as they can afford, but they have to be able to take care of each wife equally. Like one can't be living the good life and the other one's struggling. No. The one who's always crying, oh gosh, I know. All that skin hanging causes lots of infections or the folds stay moist. Yeah. And I don't know how anyone that gets that big could even wipe their own butt. Like Amber Lynn Reed, there's no way that she is able to wipe her own tissue. There's no way unless she's got some kind of extender or something. I mean, that girl right there is always going to be overweight. She starts a diet and then it's over. She'll lose 2 or 3 pounds and then, she'll gain 10 pounds. And poor Foodie Beauty, she's over in Kuwait. Now, listen, y'all, she's about 400 some pounds. She moved from Canada, where it's not that hot at, to Kuwait. And she's that big, she can't even go outside. She can't even hardly walk from the apartment to her car without getting a freaking heat stroke. And here she is over wearing the hijab and all that stuff, which is nice, I guess. But she don't have to. That's not mandatory in Kuwait. She does it to try to hide all that fat and because her hair's balding. Now she don't have to wear that big garb, as I call it, and burn up. She could wear her hijab and normal modest clothes if she wanted. No, she's over there trying to wear maternity looking clothes. Yeah. Now he sells some kind of beezer spray. Hey, Callie, what in the hell is a beezer? That's all that weirdo talks about. My beezers. What does that mean? She'll be like, we're beezing. I'll tell you what really gets on my nerves when she hits that hookah, whatever it's called, and blows the smoke into the camera. And she was on there talking about how some of these Muslim women weren't too modest, wearing something tight or something. And there she was with red lipstick on. We all know red lipstick means you're not modest. To modest people, that's what it means. To me, I don't pay no mind to it. But if she wants to get down to brass tacks, that red lipstick's inappropriate. Did Thousand Pound Best Friend come back on yet for new season? The new season's not back on yet. Hey, that first season, that Tina Mike, she lived, I guess, with her sister, and inside that house was nasty. I guess she made some money from the show. She's renting a nice house now, but it was nasty because, like, the first season, I mean, she didn't have much money, but just because you don't got much money don't mean the inside of your house needs to be nasty. Because she was going to the food banks and stuff, you could tell she didn't have much money. But there's just no excuse not to clean your house. She is screwed. She will not be able to get away from that man to get back to Canada. They will not help to get home unless maybe she could get to an embassy or something. Yeah. And like, it's just so weird over there. I would be in culture shock. Like, they went to the zoo, guys, and they had dogs in the zoo on exhibit, Pomeranians, Chihuahuas. And you want to know why, don't you? Because I think Muslims don't like dogs. I'm not for sure. I think they may think they're nasty or something, something like that. And there's cats everywhere. I think I got a lot of cats. I've got about 10 out here, I guess. I mean, there's cats everywhere on the street, the beaches, everywhere. And here, Foodie Beauty, she gave up her cats she had had for over 2 decades, rehomed them, got rid of them, moved to Kuwait, and adopted a cat. Adopted a cat. Her sister was feeding her to make her get bigger. She didn't want her to get skinny. Yeah. And her son is really overweight too, which my son is a big guy, but he's not. He used to be a little chubby when he was younger. Now he's got toddler, and he's just, I mean, y'all should see the bottom of my youngin's legs. How big around? I mean, he's going to be like freaking one of them big wrestlers. Huge. Not fat, just huge. Oh, I did want to tell y'all that Timothy, after my live stream yesterday, he did go to the doctor. He did get a shot. Actually, his eye swelled up worse when he came from the doctor, but then it started going down last night. So I think they gave him a steroid shot. He's got some steroid cream, and he's got some prednisone here to take. Yeah, she said that he was highly, highly allergic to poison oak. So, and I found out something interesting. I thought Timothy went down to that rock and said again. He didn't. He was just at sitting on the porch of this empty mobile home. But I went over and looked, and it is full of poison oak around there. It must just blowed up or something. The last time he was over there, the same thing happened. His chin started itching. But last time it wasn't as bad. This time, both his eyes was swelled. One was worse than the other. But yeah. So he's on the mend, thank goodness. I was like, you're never going over there again. He's like, I don't want to. He has been plumb miserable. That can get in your bloodstream. I mean, his eye was about swelled shut yesterday. I went in there and looked at him when he was sleeping. I thought it went down. And then I got off my live stream, and he got up. And I had to get stern with him. I was like, all I had to say, really, I was like, you're stressing me out with this, Timothy, because I'm worried to death about you. And you're trying to be bullheaded and just wait to go to the doctor like I do. Wait till it gets real bad. And it's stressing me out. So he went. My son is highly allergic to poison oak. His whole head swells up. He has to go in and get shot. Yeah. It's scary, isn't it? That's the first time I'd seen Timothy swell up like it. It looked like somebody beat the crap out of him. His eye was just about swelled shut. And then it was so weird. After he come from the doctor, it swelled even worse. And then last night, before I went to bed, he came in here and it went down a lot. A lot. Thank God. Thank goodness. Anyways, guys, I'm going to get off here. I'll see y'all in the morning for some more true crime news and some chit chat. Remember, if y'all want to help the feral cats out, join the membership. Join the membership. Anyways, y'all have a great day. Be safe. Be kind. Peace.